Hey guys, it's Professor Fernandez here. In this particular video, I want to show you how to do your Works Cited page. Now, your Works Cited page, whether you're in my English 1301 class, my 1302 class, or my literature classes, um, is very, very important because it shows me that you know what you're doing. It shows me that you did the research, you did some thinking, you did some work, and it makes me as a professor very happy. So let me show you how to do it because there's a couple of things in the past that students have done with the Works Cited page. One, that they do the Works Cited page separate from the actual research paper, and they turn in two files when really it's one file, and that the Works Cited page doesn't, well, they have their own ideas on how to do it. So let me make sure that you guys know how to do it. So first things first, the Works Cited page is the page that is attached to your research paper. This particular example is a 1301 example, but this goes for 1301, literature classes, any classes where you have to write a research paper and use MLA as your formatting. So you'll have your Works Cited page, and I want to show you that this is actually literally attached to your to this research paper here. Okay, so this is your research paper, and number 5, page 5, as you see right here, is the actual Works Cited page. I want to point out a couple of things to you. One, your Works Cited, your title is Works Cited, not Works Cite, not work cited, but Works Cited, which literally means these are the works that I am citing in the paper, which is where it gets its name from. I want you to notice that it is not all in caps, it's not bolded, it's not underlined, it's not highlighted, it's not in different colors, and it's not in a bigger font than anything else. It's the exact same font as the rest of the paper. It is Times New Roman 12-point font. Um, so it is the exact same font, the exact same size. The only difference this title has to pretty much anything else, other than the title of your actual research paper, is that it is centered. So I want you to see this is centered here in the middle of this page. I also want you to see that the W and the C are capitalized. Okay, so that's how you're going to title your Works Cited page. Again, it's a page in your research paper. It is not two separate um, files. It is one file, and the Works Cited is the last page of your research paper. I also want you to see how the Works Cited is organized here. First, I want you to see that there is not a space between your first citation and the title. It goes from here to here, and you just hit return once, and it should be right here. So I want you to see, yes, there's a hanging indent, and I'll teach you how to do the hanging indent here in a minute. But there's also, I want you also to notice that it is in alphabetical order. So your Works Cited needs to be in alphabetical order by the first letter of the citation. Now you're probably wondering, it's not alphabetical order by the last name of the citation. Not necessarily. Here's an example of what I mean. Sometimes there is no author for a specific citation, right? So what you have as the first letter is the actual title of what you are sourcing. For example, this has no author, and so the first letter is the M in this citation. So what you want to do is make sure that this goes under the M's. Let's see if there's another example here. Nope, that's all the examples there. So when I say you want to do it by alphabetical order by the first letter of the citation, that's what I mean. So, for example, you may have maybe a YouTube video and you're using the name on the YouTube video, and it could be Star 57 as the author. So you um, put it under S for star. All right, so you have that. You probably saw these little dashes here, and you're wondering what that means. And this is going to come in handy when you have one particular author that has several sources that you think are very important for your research or very important for your research paper. So what the dashes here mean is that it is from the same author, but it's different things by the same author. So for example, Sarah Koenig, for the narrator for Serial, this particular student is using the cell phone call log from the Serial Podcast website. They're using the cell tower map. They're using the actual Serial Podcast, the entire season, and they're using the timelines from that website as well. All of these have Sarah Koenig um, as the first name listed in the citation. So instead of saying Sarah Koenig for all of these, she just put dashes, and that's fine. That's actually part of MLA style. Put dashes, make sure there is a period here because, yes, you have to have a period there. Remember how interesting the punctuation is, and then you keep going with putting the name of the source in quotations and keep going down that road. Okay? All right, so this is what it looks like. Now let me show you how to do a hanging indentation. Um, so once you have your hanging indentation, and let me show you here, make this a little bigger. Once you have your works cited, right? Once you have your works cited and you have it listed, I would have everything listed. I would actually put them down. And I want you to also notice this is also double spaced, by the way. This is double spaced. So once you have them here and you have them listed in alphabetical order and you have them all ready and lined up to go, what you need to do is highlight them all the way to the end. And you're going to right click, you'll hit paragraph. And under indentation here, you'll have an area called special. You're going to click on that and you're going to hit hanging. Dun, 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 dun. Hanging by 0.5 is fine. Don't go any more or any less than that. 0.5 is perfect. You'll hit OK, and like magic, you have hanging indentations, a hanging indentation for your citation. And so one of the reasons why I want you to write them out, let me go ahead and undo that so that way I can show you again and talk a little bit about what's going on. One of the reasons why I want you to write them, I'll go ahead and write them in alphabetical order first and write them all out and then do the hanging indent at the end is so that way you can already double space them before you do the hanging indent, because if you do the hanging indent and then double space them, it throws everything off. So go ahead and write it out, double space everything just how you would double space your paper, and then I would highlight them again, right click, hit paragraph, indentation, special, hanging, and hit OK. All right, and you want to do that for all of them. This one may not have an hanging indent because it's a small citation, but let's try it. Let's try it just so you guys can see how this works. Hanging indent, 0.5, don't do 0.3, that's crazy, and that stays the same. This one is 2 lines, so for sure I'll do a hanging indent. And what I'm doing here, showing you hanging indents, this is in Word. Hanging indents for Google Docs is a little different, and I'll link to a video for that. So again, right click, hit paragraph, special, hanging, okay, and there you go. And you go and you do it for each of your sources here, and voila, you have your works cited and wonderfully perfectly formatted. All right, guys, that's all I got for you for Works Cited. I hope this was helpful.